You know what I'm saying? I would like to say happy Tuesday. Welcome to Legal Wars Live, News Hour with Ghostwriter, your favorite host, the Ghost. Man, this morning, never state the obvious what we're gonna be talking about, the bombing of Iran and that entire situation. Like if you read the title of this stream, you might get the wrong idea. People might get the wrong idea, think that, there's some type of negativity that, I'm going to be spewing today. But I'm not going to spew no negativity towards President Trump. In my opinion, or towards anyone, like in a situation like this, I don't think it's wise for us to play politics like that in these situations, real talk. Because if you do that, you don't understand President Trump. He has decisions that have people's lives and futures in the balance. So, I don't think it's cool, in my opinion, to attempt to, try to play politics or get some kind of gain out of a situation like this, because I think this is a dire situation that the entire world is in. So that being said, man, that's my little introduction. I got some news. We got a story we're going to do. I'm going to give us just a second, let everybody catch up, and then we'll get cracking. Let me see. Good morning. As y'all come in, please like the video. If y'all haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Gonna take a few minutes. I'm getting situated here, or trying to get situated here. And then we're gonna get started on the content. I got news to give to us today, guys. Got some news for us. I'm trying to get situated myself. How are y'all doing this morning? I would like to say good morning to all of you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Guys, give me just a second. Y'all make sure y'all double tap that screen for me. If y'all have not, y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, guys. As I said, I got some news for us today. What to know about the U.S. military intervention in the Israeli-Iran war. Y'all ready to go? Let's jump into it. We don't need no breaks. Let's get it. So, guys, this is from PBS News. It was written, of course, June 22nd, Athens, Greece. I'm going to give you guys the news. Good morning, Kelly. How are you doing? Thank you. You guys, make sure y'all say hello, say good morning. Guys, I'm going to give y'all the news, and I'm going to give y'all my analysis of the situation. My analysis isn't going to be like normal political analysis. You know what I'm saying? In this situation, if President Trump was wondering if he should enact a big, beautiful bill, that's something totally different than what's going on with Iran and Israel. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it. Once again, the source is PBS, June 22nd. The United States inserted itself into Israel's war against Iran, bombing 3 of the Islamic Republic's key nuclear sites overnight in an attack it dubbed Operation Midnight Hammer. U.S. President Donald Trump asserted that the sites were completely and fully obliterated, or warned that there would be additional strikes if Iran retaliated. Now, I will say this, Iran is not, okay, let me say it like this, okay? Before we get into any context of international law, I don't want to go down those rabbit holes. It's a consensus of the entire world that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon. Do we agree about that or disagree about that? Good morning, Lucis. How are you doing? Guys, do we agree about that or not, disagree? It is a consensus of the entire world that Iran don't have a nuclear weapon. All right. So we understand that. So President Trump has stated clearly that Iran having a nuclear weapon is off the table. We know that Iran disagrees with that. You know, they feel like that's a threat to their sovereignty. I mean, listen, if I guess countries want to have nuclear weapons to make themselves feel defended and feel safe. Okay, so, you know, and they probably feel like who is anyone who isn't an Iranian to tell us we can't have it. I understand that. But the problem is that you sponsor state terror. That's the problem. The problem is you get on TV and you yell death to America and death to Israel. So I don't think that helps. Not taking those sides, I'm saying I don't think that helps Iran's case because the whole world is in consensus. You see what I'm saying? The Europeans, you could go to every continent, go to the Middle East and ask Saudis. Ask the Kuwaitis, ask the Jordanians, you know, in Qatar, because you see what happened. You know what I'm saying? So the whole world, even Russia and China, and that's supposed to be Iran's friends. So the whole world's in consensus about that, okay? So understand that. Israel strikes began on June 13th, targeting Iranian military and nuclear sites. They killed several top military officials and nuclear scientists. Iran retaliated by firing hundreds of missiles and drones at Israel, some of which penetrated the country's multi-tiered air defense system. The war so far has killed hundreds of people, listen, and wounded more than 1,000 in Iran and killed 24 and wounded hundreds in Israel. So you're talking about 10 days. What, we got over 1,500 people injured in 10 days? It's all air raids, everything's from missiles, and you see what I'm saying? In my opinion, I'm always gonna focus on the casualties or the cost of war. I mean, regardless of where you at in the situation, y'all listen to me. Regardless, if you are involved in politics, if you don't have no politics, no skin in the game, you just patriotic. You just a military person. Y'all pray for our troops. You know what I'm saying? Salute to all my veterans in the stream, okay? But I'm saying regardless of where you at in the spectrum, Iran or Israel, you got to consider the cost. And hundreds. Iran insists its nuclear program is only for peaceful purposes. Iran, listen, I'm trying to stay as neutral as I can in the situation. You see what I'm saying? Like, I believe that Jesus come from Israel. However we want to say it, Hebrew. That's my beliefs. So I believe that's the Holy Land. Okay? So I am a little biased about it, but what I'm saying is you saying you got a nuclear program that exists for peaceful purposes. Well, then what's death to Israel? What you gonna get? While I'm on TV, if I want nuclear, listen, I would think if I was smart, if I was trying to slide one on the United States and on Israel, on the rest of the world, like if I really wanted a nuclear bomb, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I would be on TV yelling death to Israel and death to America. I don't think that's the best diplomatic way to get a nuclear bomb. Because I'm saying, if I'm imagine, listen, forget which side you on. If you're an American, whatever your race or nationality, just say you got a friend. And your friends stay in a neighborhood and they neighbors all got them all surrounded. They bigger and stronger or whatever, they all surrounded. And every single day they throwing rocks at your neighbor's house rocks hit your neighbor's kids when they going to school saying that they want you to die. And then you trying to tell everybody else you want a gun for peaceful purposes. It's not making sense. Israel views it as an existential threat, and they should, and has said its military campaign is necessary to prevent Iran from building an atomic bomb. Listen, to be fair, y'all heard everything I said, but I'm going to give y'all truth now. And truth is not pretty sometimes. It's confusing. But to be fair, I will say this, okay? The evidence isn't there necessarily that Iran has started building a nuclear bomb. But Israel has intelligence on the ground all the way around the world, the Mossad. America has intelligence. We've been in these situations before. Listen, I want to say this. How many Republicans in the stream? Y'all stream down below if y'all Trump supporters, okay? Y'all stand by President Trump if you support President Trump. If you voted for him and you believe in what he's doing, stand 10 toes. If you don't, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, I want to shout out to the Congresswoman. If you don't, let your voice be heard, but just do it with love. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying for the Republicans to understand my thought processes from a political strategist. Think about the last time the United States went to war in the Middle East. Okay? Ghost, what you mean when Joe Biden, the people falling off the planes when we were leaving Afghanistan? That's not what I'm talking about. That's leaving. But we have been there. When did it start? All of that started under the second President Bush. And I'm not hating on the second President Bush because I think that he is a great human being. He's one of the best presidents. Listen, I'm just saying that his daddy was in the CIA. You got to understand the John McCain era, that fighting against the Soviet Union era. We're not going down no rabbit holes. What I'm trying to say is the last time before President Trump in 2024, a Republican won the popular vote was from that president. Listen to me. Get you some wisdom. All that nonsense stuff. I mean, if you want some wisdom, you're in the right place to get wisdom. President Bush, he went into Iraq. He went into Afghanistan, right? Y'all remember the fallout? Some of y'all in here too young to remember the fallout of that weapons of mass destruction. I think that's what Vice President Vance is talking about. Because if you listen to me, the Republicans, it took them to 2024, over 20 years to win another popular vote in the election. But when President Trump ran the race, we getting back to the news in just a second. You got to understand my mentality when I'm speaking. When President Trump ran the race, he ran the race as a peace president. That's what I'm saying. He didn't run the race as like, if the people, because I'm saying this is important to the people. And sometimes we get in situations as a president, he's not a politician no more. He's a president. So sometimes as a president, he has to make a decision as a president that is absent of a political party that's going to harm that political party in the future. We're going to get back to it. But we talking about Iran, though, like they saying the nuclear program for peaceful purposes. How many of y'all in the stream think that Iran's nuclear program is for peaceful purposes? Y'all spam it below. How many in the stream think that Delta Israel, and we gonna go listen, Hamas is the Iranian army. Don't be confused. Hezbollah, that's the Iranian army, the Houthis. And you know what the Iran do? They arm those militias with ballistic missiles, screaming death to America. But if you ask Iran, you think Iran, they're going to say that with the Houthis, that nah, those militias. That's not part of Iranian government. So what is it to get them people a nuclear warhead to shoot into Israel that you're not going to claim? You feel me? We don't want Iran to have no nuclear nothing. Okay? Israel views it as an existential threat, which they should, and says its military campaign is necessary to prevent Iran from building an atomic weapon. Although U.S. intelligence agencies have assessed that Tehran is not actively pursuing a bomb, President Trump and Israeli leaders have argued it could quickly assemble a nuclear weapon, making it an intimate threat. The region has been on edge for the last 2 years as Israel seeks to annihilate the Hamas militant group, an Iranian ally. You could call it an Iranian ally or an illegal branch of the Iranian army, because they are lockstep sync with the Iranian government. And the Iranian government funds them. That's a terrorist organization, bro. You see what I'm saying? Look, if you a Muslim, or if they'll say we fighting a great oppression, whatever they say. But what I'm saying is you don't do it with ballistic missiles. You don't do it by killing people. Yes, you do win wars with violence, but I'm saying it's been 40 years. You've been in the same location for 40 years shooting the same missiles and ain't going nowhere with this. We keep on. Listen, I'm saying from President Trump's, not President Trump, from the American people's standpoint, we tired of dealing with it. That's all we saying. Ain't nobody, we standing with Israel. I believe that we tired of dealing with that conflict. Listen, Muslims and Jews live, where you see Muslims and Jews fighting at in America, I'll wait for you. Where the Muslims, because if it's about the ideology and the religion, if you're saying it's just about the religions and conflict, since we're supposed to be in conflict with Muslims as Christians, or Jews are supposed to be in conflict. So in America, where they fighting at? So let's not act like they cannot live peacefully together. That's the whole reason President Trump, this project starting with President Ronald Reagan, rest in peace to one of the greats, who tore down a very powerful, threatening Soviet empire with some CIA operations and his words. You see what I'm saying? I'm saying if you're taking a page from that playbook, I'm going to give it to you. I stop like that because I want people to get where I'm coming from, because I think different than a lot of people. If you guys have not liked the video, make sure y'all double tap the screen for me, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell, guys. Y'all get active in those comments, man. Let y'all voice be heard. What y'all think so far about President Trump's actions? Do y'all agree with him, disagree with him politically? You know what I'm saying? Spiritually, emotionally? The region has been on edge, of course, because of, the Iranian allies, which is really just the Iranian army trying to attack Israel from every single side. Here's what to know about the conflict, okay, and the United States intervention. Okay, so President Trump announced the overnight massive precision strikes on Iran's Fordo, Asfahan, and Nan's nuclear sites in a televised address to the nation from the White House, describing them as spectacular military success. He said they had completely and fully obliterated the nuclear sites. Iran, he said, will now have to make peace. Listen, I hear pundits. How many of y'all pundits hearing about we arguing over what obliterated means? Is that the argument? Is what obliterated means? Because I'm telling you, President Trump, you think he making them words? Nah, somebody's probably, they reporting from the situation room what happened. So from the military standpoint, that's mission objective. That's all the United States military could do. Y'all got to see his different missions and different objectives running simultaneously. That's why I thought that bombing them with American, like the U.S. pilots, just wasn't the right. Listen, let me explain something, okay? Whether they obliterated the sites or not is irrelevant to me. You say, Ghost, they would have to rebuild those sites or rebuild sites. It's setting them back, and you can't deny that. Yeah, it's that. Listen, if you, in my opinion, if you didn't bomb them sites, you still set them back. Listen to me now. You could get wisdom if you ride with me, if you just listening to me. If everything happened in that entire situation before the United States bombed those sites, in my opinion, you could have did a pump fake on Iran easily. Easily. I'm saying they knew it was coming. They knew it was coming. President Trump, he felt like he almost had to do it. President Trump really don't want to be in the situation, in my opinion. He really do want peace, in my opinion. He got to support Israel. That's your ally. You got to support him. And BB, you know, these people been saying death to us for, you see what I'm saying? But yeah, I say militarily, it was a success. They probably destroyed the sites. But what I'm saying is if you get the news from anywhere over there, and I'm not talking about no Iranian media, you know, the BBC, you know, those European countries, they got a lot of involvement in the Middle East as well. So you get your news from Europe, you or somewhere in Northern Africa, or like Saudi Arabia or something, you know, they're going to tell you Iran moved that uranium up out of there. How much they moved up out of there, we don't know. You say, Ghost, why you say that? Because they said there's no leaks. There should be radiation leaks, right? If you had that much uranium, enriched uranium, right? You should be able to, we the scientists, all the smart people, you know, we got AI and stuff, so we, hey, we can't get the damage, but we know it's radiation leaking, so we know we must have hit. Nah, ain't none of that was going on. And if you look at the satellite pictures to trust with, okay, listen, I'm not getting all off into that. President Trump know that, bro, this is a sticky situation, but that's why I didn't want the United States Air Force flying sorties. It's more reasons than just that. I thought just from hearing what they were saying, I thought it would be impossible. The terrain of Iran, how enormous the country is, yada, 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 yada. I thought it would be almost impossible to fully decimate that nuclear program. And if it's impossible, then why would I get involved in it? Because if I get involved in it, that's what Iran wants. Listen, I'm going to say, bro, we getting right back to the news. This is what I'm saying, y'all. We got 5 people in the room. We got President Trump. We got Putin. We got Xi Jinping. We got the UK Prime Minister and you in a room. 5 people. And you. Yeah, you said you. Yeah, you say what this guy, listen to me. If I go to Xi Jinping and I tell him that Israel and Iran is fighting, you think that's going to be news? What you think he going to say? He ain't going to say that. He ain't going to pay no attention to it. That's like an everyday thing. We used to hearing about Israel, been fighting them for since Israel returned there in the 40s. Really before that, the Crusades. The Muslims and the Christians, or the Muslims and the Jew, it's been going. So if you go to Vladimir Putin and you tell him that Iran and Hamas is, I can hear Vladimir, what else says no. You feel me? If you go to Xi Jinping, if you go to anybody, even you and me, and say that Israel and Iran is fighting, oh, well, ain't nobody paid no attention to that, I promise you. The political junkies like us on this stream, we probably paid attention to it. But I'm saying the average American, you tell them Iran and Israel is fighting, they do not care. They don't want to hear it. Listen how they vote. That's how President Obama became president, because him opposing that war that he seen through whatever and knew that wasn't wise for him to do that war. He saw the fallout behind it. That's how he won, by opposing the war. American people are tired of, that's what I'm saying. So, but I'm saying here's where it changes. If you go to Vladimir and you say that the United States has bombed anybody, what? If you go to Xi Jinping and say that the United States has bombed somebody, what? If you come to us and say that the United States has bombed somebody, what? If you go to the UK Prime Minister and you tell him that the United States, we're not talking about Israel, we're not talking about Iran, we're not talking about Russia, boy. We're talking about the only superpower. We're talking about the strongest military. The markets across the entire world will hang off the words of the U.S. president. You know what I call that? I call that responsibility. You got to recognize the responsibility on your shoulders in the moment. You do lead with strength and deterrent, but strength and deterrent in this situation against Iran, that don't look like a strength and deterrent. That looks like you picking on somebody. That's what that looks like. Guys, thank y'all please double tap the screen, like the video if you guys have not, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell, guys. I'm going to keep that going with the news. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Air Force General Dan Kane, said during a news briefing in Washington Sunday that while final battle damage will take some time, initial assessments indicated all 3 nuclear sites have been heavily damaged. Heavily damaged, destroyed, obliterated. To me, that's irrelevant. We arguing over whether it was heavily damaged, obliterated, or destroyed. And you know what's happening? What was the objective? Look, Lucas, what was the objective of the mission? Aaron, what was the objective? Tree, what was the objective? It was about the nuclear program. While we arguing over obliterated, heavily damaged, or whatever the other word is, the Iranians sneaking out the back door with the uranium. It's not funny, though. You know what I'm saying? What's the objective of the mission? Because I'm saying the smart people are focused on what we went there for, and they're watching that uranium. Because if we don't get this uranium, then we're going to have to deal with this again. You know we tired of dealing with it. All that's going to end up doing is leaving Israel out there by themselves. That's what the Bible says. Going to happen in the end anyway. But that's all that's going to get there doing because the American people are weary of this. Okay, so don't get involved in it, and if you don't have to, because they're weary of it. President Biden, like, I'm sorry, they felt, and President Trump feel like I need to come do something, but I'm saying, like, I'm kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a protect Israel, and that's because I'm saying Netanyahu, that's his neighborhood, that's his people. He feel like that'll make his people safer. Hey, you my ally, I don't have no problem with it. We believe that you guys are the children of God. We don't have no problem with it. I'm just saying that the American Air Force ain't flying them sorties in the Israel, sir. I mean the Iran, sir. We're not doing that. Because I don't think you're not getting the uranium by doing that. Especially when the Chinese President Trump said himself, the Chinese that flew out of Iran, you don't even know if the supreme leader is in Iran anymore. If I was the Iranians, we would have our command structure, besides the little flunky commanders, our command structure be in China or Russia, because I know you ain't gonna bomb them. And then I know I could sit here and fight you for the rest of eternity. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's like these situations need to you got to use wisdom in these situations. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said the strikes had not aimed at toppling the Iranian government. You see what I'm saying? You can't hate on the military because they could only do what they could do. President Trump ain't finna put no troops on the ground. So I'm saying, in order for you to really get rid of that uranium that you scared that they're going to build a nuclear bomb with, if that was your mission, then just dropping them bombs ain't going to do nothing. But let the Iranians go to Moscow the next day after you drop them bombs and tell Putin, see, this is what I was talking about. Here come the bullies. They suckering you into the fight. You can't blame BB. You can't blame Israel. How you gonna blame BB or Israel? What's he supposed to do? He want his state to survive. That's what I'm saying. I'm weird, but I'm smarter. It's like I talk with the most common sense out of all the unweird people that I hear. They don't got no common sense. BB want his state to survive. He doing what he's supposed to be doing. That's what he's supposed to try to get United States in the fight. That's his own boy. Old President T. That's his boy. What he did wrong. And then the Iranians, they ain't just saying death to Israel. They were saying death to America too. You know what I'm saying? Iranian's Atomic Energy Organization confirmed the attacks, but insisted its nuclear program will not be stopped. Well, yes, sir. Let's pack our bags and go back to what we was doing. Yes, sir. How many thousands of dollars it costs to fly one of them B-52s an hour? Somebody Google that. Oh, about $70,000 an hour for one B-52 bomber. So you drop how many bombs? How much that cost? About what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14 million in one day, 24 hours. Fraud, waste, and abuse. We taking money. I have to say this. I'm sorry. I love you, President T, from the bottom of my heart. President T, we taking money from children. USAID, fraud, waste, and abuse. We can't afford them bombs. If the Iranians kill an American, annihilate them. If the Iranians kill one American, wipe them off the map. That's a show of strength, a deterrence. Listen, you can't let somebody run game on you or sucker you. So look, with all due respect for you, President Trump, with much love, I'm sitting in the Situation Room, and you gonna come to me, and I'm sitting over here. Steve Bannon and them know this. Ask Steve Bannon who America focused on or who they should be focused on right now. The whole United States Marines, we focused on them. Okay, so you sitting over here, you focused on this. You're not even Russia. To you, Russia ain't really because they feel like, Vladimir, they don't agree with Vladimir all the way, but they feel like Vladimir is kind of manageable. But we kind of don't understand about this empire over here. So we watching this empire over here. And so you come to me, Mr. President, we have a situation over here in Israel and Iran. You know what I do? I do the same thing you said Putin did. Oh, yeah, okay. What we talking about? Because, you know what I'm saying, we used to hearing this. Okay, Mr. President, though, we need some help. What's the help? Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. No, they cannot. All of the world said that. No, they can't. Well, how are we gonna stop them from getting a nuclear weapon? Well, they got a site that's buried 300 feet under a mountain. Do we got bombs? Do Israel got bombs? They don't have the bombs, sir. We only got the bombs. Oh, we do. Okay. So when we drop the bombs, what's gonna happen? Is that gonna get rid of it? We gonna be through with this? No, sir. What? That means we gonna drop the bombs and it's not over? No, sir. Why not? Because, sir, if we drop the bombs, there's no guarantee that we could destroy it all the way. Huh? Is there a way you could destroy it all the way? Yes, sir. You got to put troops on the ground. Ah. So you saying I'm going to drop a bomb on a chance that I could destroy it? On a chance. I'm dropping bombs on chances. I'm going to take a risk that I'm in violation of starting World War III on a chance that I might destroy something they ain't even started building yet. To me, that sounds like a sucker play. You feel me? If they came at President Trump like that, I would think somebody was trying to run game on him or something. What? Boy, you better get your goofy self up out of it. That don't even sound like no common sense stuff that they talking. You want me to drop one of my bombs? I've been telling my people who are war weary that we not finna fight no more of your wars. Okay? That's number one. Your country is not under attack no more. That was 2 years ago. But I'm gonna stand by you because you would do the same for me, and I believe you God's people. So nobody's gonna hurt you, but no one is threatening to invade Israel. But if you want to go do that, you doing the world's dirty work. That's what Europe said. Okay, fine. BB, we got you. What you need? I need you to drop some bombs. Oh, you do? Oh, that's no problem. So when I drop these bombs, it's over, right? It's over, right? When I drop the bombs, right? Oh, no, sir, President Trump, it might not be. Might not. I can't do nothing on that. Because what would be guaranteed is if you put them Israeli commandos on the ground, that is guaranteed. Oh, it's a dangerous mission. Well, you want to destroy their nuclear program. I'm not going to drop no bombs to make nobody America. No, I got my troops and my men and women now, they in all over the Middle East scrambling like chickens. And you know the Iranians, they don't stop. They'll get you 10 years down the road when you come over to the Middle East for another war to help Israel again, because you're going to be back over there again. Trust and believe. That's just the way of the world until God ends it. So when you go back over there to Israel to help them again, they'll say, remember us? You are blue-eyed devils, death to America. And then you like, bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, it ain't, that's what Marjorie Taylor Greene's saying. They starting to see it. The Republicans are seeing it. The last time we did this, we ain't win an election for 20 years. Not on no national stage, not with the people. And I'm preaching peace, and the first chance I get, I'm finna do the same thing that happened the last time. Maybe if you bomb in Serbia or if you bomb in some other country, when you dropping bombs in the Middle East, you got to understand what you dealing with. These people will kill themselves to get at you. These people, they believe, bro, that you... The nuclear fuel enrichment site at Fordo is buried deep beneath the mountain, and the attack against it used bunker buster bombs designed to penetrate the ground before exploding, a U.S. official says, speaking on condition of anonymity to discuss military operations. Only the United States had a 30,000-pound bomb? Oh, okay, then we're going to sell it to you, Israel. Don't Israel got all of our weapons anyway? Y'all, am I right or wrong? Y'all tell me where I'm wrong at. Israel got all of our weapons anyway. Why? I'm saying if they over there, they main enemy is the evil dictator, supreme leader on steroids. And he yelling death to Israel all the time. And Iran, I'm learning everything. The terrain is a mountainous country. Israel needs that bomber and that bomb. So President Trump, if they don't have it, go ahead and put it on the order form right now. So the next president that come in, you can't say, oh, well, we got to go draw. Nah, they got the bomber and the bomb. We went through this in 2025, and we might have been this close to World War III. And you know that President Trump warned there would be additional strikes if Tehran retaliated against the United States forces, while BB praised President Trump's decision to attack. They have already retaliated against the U.S. forces. You know what I'm saying? Iran launched a barrage of missiles against Israel overnight and into Sunday, with Israeli authorities reporting that more than 80 people wounded. The vast majority of them lightly, thank God. Iran's foreign minister, Abbas, I ain't even gonna try, said the time for diplomacy had passed and his country had the right to defend itself. Yes, sir, you do got the right to defend yourself. But the time for diplomacy has not passed, sir. It has not passed, sir. Shame on President Trump. He broke international law. Okay, maybe so. But you have too, plenty of times. You just don't be on TV saying death to America. That's what'll happen to you. You get popped in your mouth. You feel what I'm talking about? Y'all look, nah, I ain't trying to hate on them people because these are women and children that don't have nothing to do with this. But I just want to show you something though. I look at people in their character. So Iran is the person that goes out and they be talking so much smack. They talking smack to Israel. They ain't just talk smack to Israel. They started terrorist organizations to kill Israelis 24/24. So they talking smack to Israel. I know you ain't over here talking to the big bad wolf. But they want to talk to the big bad wolf too. And the big America, we above that because we got a great. Remember, I told you about power comes with responsibility. So we above that. But I'm saying, though, you over here talking that noise and these people that went off upside your head. And I'm saying, ain't nothing nobody could do to save you. Because I'm saying, if they try to impeach President Trump, that ain't going to save Iran. By the time he got impeached, it won't be no more Iran. It ain't funny. That's what I'm just saying. So you going around saying death to America and challenging America, and then they pop you in your mouth, and then you going to go try to run to Putin talking about they broke international law. What? I thought you wanted to fight. I thought Iran wanted to fight, didn't y'all? We American people, what the American people want. What the Iranian people want. Because I'm saying the Iranian government, it sounds like they want to fight. I know you got a whole face, man, but I'm just saying, bro, I mean, it's just different ways that humans can deal with situations. The warmongering, a lawless administration in Washington is solely and fully responsible for the dangerous consequences and far-reaching implications of this act of aggression. They crossed a very big red line by attacking nuclear facilities. Guys, if y'all have not liked the video, y'all please double tap the screen for your boy. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. How Tehran might retaliate remains unclear. They've already started. But Iranian response could mean a wave of attacks on U.S. forces in the Middle East. They launched missiles at Qatar. An attempt to close a key bottleneck for global oil supplies. I don't think Iran's going to walk away from this. I really don't. I just don't think so. I think even when they walk away, they don't walk away. Listen, this is what I'm saying. Netanyahu said regime change in Iran. I think, Prime Minister, you're going to have to sit down with other people to talk about that, because what's going to happen is if you and President Trump arbitrarily do that, the Ayatollah Khamenei, if he ain't already, he going to Russia or China. If they not, they family's not there already. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, BB. BB, one of his kids or his grandkids or his whatever, they're going to hate Israel even more with the, see, that's what I'm saying. If you, when America got rid of Saddam Hussein, America did it in a way to where Saddam couldn't run somewhere else. His family can't run, and it couldn't stay there for 40 years and wait 40 years to come back and annihilate you. It's not funny, but that's just facts. When you talk about regime change, you can't, these situations, I know it sounds so good. The Iranian people, they ready for Arab Spring, but you need wisdom when you're dealing with this situation. You cannot defeat ideology with the gun. You could take somebody's brains, but how you could take the thoughts out their brain? You could stop their life, but that's what I'm saying. You can't beat the ideology with the gun. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said he was gravely alarmed by the United States use of force. Here we go. Here we go, President T. That's why I said I wouldn't do it. I see the play. They're going to build you up. Oh, yeah, yeah. And you going this. The last time a Republican listened to me, can you hear me? He that hath ears, finish the scripture. The last The last time a Republican won the White House 20-some years ago, why hadn't a Republican won in 5 elections, okay, after the Bush? Because you can't say that Obama cheated once or twice. He's like one of the most popular presidents ever by the popular vote, okay? You can't say that Hillary Clinton cheated because she won that popular vote too. And he's saying that about Joe Biden before he just won it. But look at all those elections, though. Why you think that Republicans, or look at the common denominator of why the world leaders issue calls for diplomacy. Thank God it looks like President Trump is. Because I'm saying we don't know. He could be like baiting you into that. You got to understand that how things work in this. You ain't going to know it until it's over with, till you got. That's why you just make a wise move. Netanyahu, I'm going to send them aircraft carriers. And you know we working on building the Golden Dome. See, you ask Ghost for advice. This how I'm going to deal with BB. Hey, BB, you know, we dealing with them. You know, we working on the Golden Dome right now. So what we going to do, we going to send them aircraft carriers. I'm going to send some of them, you know what I'm saying? So we figuring out how to build a Golden Dome. So, you know, our military contractors, and we just going to build instead of the Iron Dome, we going to upgrade that to the Golden Dome off your dollar, by the way, because we know y'all got it. We going to upload that to the Golden Dome, and we going to sit there with our aircraft carriers. We just going to shoot their missiles down. We going to give you your intelligence. Oh, you need the B-52? We got them for sale. They're about $1 billion. Cost about $70,000 an hour to operate. Because when you don't do that, what happens is, if President Trump, like, obviously the protests, they're not going to get you like 2020. It ain't going to be no protests like that get President Trump out of there like that. He got smarter than that. We see that happen in California, bro. That they just fought that out. President Trump got a quiet victory, a quiet W. There ain't going to be no protests. You can't get them with protests. So how you going to get them? By making a bad move? When the midterms come up, say, see what I told you? That dude is decision making. Nah, that's the wrong move to make. That's what they're going to say against you. There's a growing risk that this conflict could spread out of control. I was saying that before we made a decision with catastrophic consequences for civilians, the region, and the world. I call on member states to de-escalate ASAP. The European Union's foreign policy chief, Kaja Kallas, said Iran must not be allowed to develop the urge restraint. Yeah, urge restraint. It's a way you do it. It's a way you do it, man. I'm going to get to that in just a moment when we get on Russia in just a second, y'all. I urge all sides to step back, return to the negotiating table, and prevent further escalation, she said in a social media post. I agree with you. Let's see what the Mr. Supreme Leader said. Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen who have threatened to resume attacks on U.S. vessels in the Red Sea if the Trump administration turn. See, that's what I'm saying. It ain't funny, bro, but that's why we ain't got one to do with no Iran, bro. Like, that's Israel. That ain't got no problems dealing with that. They do have problems, but Netanyahu's still dealing with it. He might feel like he ain't got no choice. But I'm saying the Israeli people in that neighborhood, they are behind Bibi with what he's doing. Trust and believe. The American people ain't behind. 25% of people, I seen a poll. You can't say this was no fabricated poll because 25%, I give you 20 points. You still underwater. 25% of American public supported bombing Iran, even if it's for a day. Because I'm saying if we stop in USAID, we can't stop USAID to drop $5 million bombs. You can't not feed some child in Africa and drop a $5 million bomb in the war you ain't got nothing to do with. You can't fool the American people. How slow are the American people? Because you politicians, if you keep doing that stupid stuff, it's going to be, next time it'll be 40 years before the Republicans win another election. Because you keep doing it. Oh, well, President Trump did it with Libya. Oh, he did do it in Libya, didn't he? With Gaddafi. Somebody told me that. Somebody told me that. He did regime change too. It didn't cost the Democrats nothing. Hillary Clinton won that next election. That's what I'm saying, man. The American people, if it don't, when you fighting wars that they don't believe. Listen, this was gonna happen. I'm kind of in the middle with this, but you know what's happening? Vice President Vance, he gonna come in, and that's where he gonna start. They're gonna draw the world in a line, and the Democrats and the war-hard Republicans. Like, I ain't even gonna call your network. Y'all gonna be crying in a second. That's what JD Vance saying. Listen, we're gonna give this side of the world to China and this side of the world to Russia. So you know what that means for you, Israel. I'm trying to tell you. Because they know the politicians are knowing that we got to do something to stop them from dragging us into this stuff that's destroying us at home. President Trump, the golden age, peace. Okay. What Mr. Alatoni Ale Khamenei, he had warned the U.S. that strikes were irreparable damage for them. It's like, what, this man a lawyer or something? The Zionist American arrogance. The Israeli military said Saturday it was preparing for a possibility of a lengthy war with Iran's foreign minister, warned before the U.S. attack that the American military involvement would be very, very dangerous for everyone. American military involvement. Understand that. If you guys have not liked the video, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, guys. Super chat, super thanks, super stickers start at 99 cents. If you guys want to donate to the channel, y'all hit that button with the $ in it, and your donations are much appreciated. So guys, this next story, okay, is from the BBC, and it's June 23rd, 2025. What are we talking about now? Listen. I don't have no hatred for President Trump. I understand that politicians have to be politicians, okay? I have a lot of love for individual politicians. You see what I'm saying? I heard Marjorie Taylor Greene, like I said, for the third time. You know what I'm saying? She is in President Trump's camp. So hearing her say that, in my mind, I'm thinking she's not a yes man. How can you be a yes man? You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, of course, AOC, but I know AOC been speaking her mind, fighting for the people, and she's a legality moral politician. This one I'm going to say, though. I'm going to say this, though. Forget politics. That's how I do it. Let's not talk politics. Let's not talk President Trump. Okay? Let's say me. Now, let me say this. I came to you and I said, hey, listen. If you vote for me, you see this bottle of water right here? I'm going to give you this bottle back. If you vote for me, this bottle right here is going to look like this. It's going to be full if you vote for me, okay? And say we voted for you. And you bring me a bottle looking like this. Do I have to pour the water to show you? I'm saying, listen, President Trump, you got to understand, he said he was going to deal with the conflict in Russia. I know this sounds so hard, man. And I don't want to hurt no Republicans' feelings. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings because I know the truth hurts. But we need to hear the truth, all of us, me too. Our President Trump saying that he was going to end the war in Russia. I'm not going to say day one because we know that, like, okay, but what I'm saying is him saying that he real cool with Vladimir and he's going to end this war. Okay? You say, Ghost, you know he was just talking. No, I don't. Why you say that? Because like I said earlier, President Reagan did it with a much stronger Russia. It wasn't Russia, it was the USSR. He told Gorbachev to tear that wall down. And the wall got torn down. And then the first President Bush got into office. And then after the first President Bush got into office, then Bill Clinton got into office. I think Boris Yeltsin, he came after Gorbachev, didn't he? And Boris Yeltsin, he was the Russian leader after Ronald Reagan told Gorbachev. Boris Yeltsin, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was during Clinton's time. But Boris Yeltsin was a alcoholic, and he looked like a democratic, but that's not what Russia was looking for. Russia was trying to get back to USSR. So a new Russian president won, a young Vladimir Putin. And Bill Clinton, President Clinton, he went and had a conversation with Boris Yeltsin, and he poked him in the chest. He said, why you put that KGB dude back? Why you put that? Because he knew. President Clinton, he knew what was coming. President Bush get in the office. Second Bush. That's when he trying to be cool with Putin. He looked into his eyes and seen his soul. Everything was going good, according to Putin. This Putin story. And Putin said, listen to me. Putin said when the United States went to war in Iraq and they found no evidence of weapons of mass destruction, Putin gave a speech on the world stage. Go fact check me, everything I'm saying. And he talked about how the United States had disturbed the war order. And in Putin's mind, he thinking, hey, if y'all not going and y'all attack smaller countries and y'all, well, I'm going to do it too. This their words. This not my words. Putin's words is that the United States hides behind democracy to do what they do. That's Putin's words. I'm not an America hater. I'm an America lover. You understand that? And because I know that, I'm not going to give you something to use against me. Never. To justify your actions. Because he over there in Crimea, over there in Ukraine. Listen, let's scrap all that, okay? Let me say this. President Trump, the people were expecting some kind of peace in Ukraine when they voted for you. Some kind of peace. If they didn't get it, I think they might forgive you. But not having peace there and starting that Middle East thing. BBC, y'all, June 23rd. What's going on in Russia and Ukrainian war? At least 9 people were killed and several injured in a Russian missile and drone attack in the Kyiv region in the early hours of Monday morning, the Interior Minister said. At least 6 of those killed in a high-rise building in the capital. Kyiv's mayor, whatever his name is, said, I'm just playing, y'all. Klitschko, the city's military administration said further 33 people have been injured in the latest barrage. 352 Russian drones and 16 missiles targeted Ukrainian territory, mostly in the Kyiv area. If you guys do not know, if you've been following this war, bruh, Putin picking it up. And now he in the capital. He aiming for the capital of Ukraine. You know what Putin wants? All of Ukraine. President Trump, this is what I think in my mind. I think in my mind, if Putin gets all of Ukraine, I think a lot of Americans will view that as a failure. Y'all, I'm so sorry. You guys, if y'all support President Trump, y'all, I apologize. Y'all, I love you, President Trump. I love President Trump. somebody need to tell you though, President Trump, I'm dead serious. I think that people will view that as a failure if Putin takes Ukraine, because that's not what was said in the very beginning. I think if that war, if America's involvement in Iran is continued, I think that's going to cost the Republicans, dog. I don't think the American people going to forgive you, because they ain't going to trust you. They won't trust you because they think they give you power. Every time you get power, you go to war. President Trump did in his first 4 years, and it was a golden age. You know, gas cheap. Stock market, everything looked good. First 4 years. We want that first 4-year Trump back. You feel me? That's what they voted for. The tariffs, he ran on tariffs. You might not agree on tariffs, he ran on tariffs. Russia and Ukraine, excuse me, that's something that he hadn't finished yet, so we're going to have to see how that goes. What else they disagree with? USAID, he ran on USAID. Harvard Law, you might not agree with that. He ran on that. Using troops against protesters, he ran on that. He ran on all of that. Going a war in the Middle East, he didn't run on none of that. Saying Iran can't have a nuclear weapon, but you ain't say no war to stop them. The American people, I promise you, if they had an inclination that you were going to go to war. Because, see, we were talking about Joe Biden and saying that the world was on fire. Remember that? I'm saying that situation in Israel, has that gotten better or worse? It might have got better. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see the Russia situation getting no better either. Maybe for Putin, because he's shooting at Kyiv now. Putin trying to get this finished. President Vladimir Zelensky traveled to Washington, D.C. Monday for talks with President Trump, military support for Ukraine. Is that what happened? No, that's not what happened. What happened, Ghost? President Vladimir Zelensky traveled to London. What? On Monday for talks with PM Keir Starmer on UK support, military support for Ukraine. He ain't even come to President Trump no more. Man, I really would get off into this, but I really ain't trying to do that. Because I think it'll be negativity towards President Trump, and I'm not trying to be negative towards President Trump. I'm saying over 1 million Russians are dead. And this war is all in Vladimir's hand. I mean, I don't know. This is what I'm saying. I feel like there's going to be drastic consequences for allowing Russia to get Ukraine back. Drastic. How you going to ever stop it? New World Order. When Russia or the USSR, forgive me, they supported North Vietnam, right? Am I right? And we supported the South, right? What happened? Did the communists win? They won momentarily, but is Vietnam communist today? I'm saying that's what I look at Ukraine as to me. It's just one fault with American troops. I know President Trump has his own about Ukraine and Zelensky, and that's deeper than, and I'm not trying to talk on it. I'm not trying to speak on it. If you know, you know. I'm not trying to speak negative about President Trump whatsoever at all. I'm just saying that we thought that, you know what I'm saying, like we was going to stand up to Vladimir like Ronald Reagan did. He didn't stand up to Vladimir. He did. He broke the USSR up. Ronald Reagan did that. Republican Party. I thought we was gonna uphold that. I mean, I know Zelensky can't beat Putin, but I mean, shoot, if America held him off, if they held him off for 4 years, I'm saying you don't want to keep spending money to help Zelensky fight that war, then don't start spending it in the Middle East. I don't get how that makes sense. Especially after you did a mineral deal with Ukraine, man. Guys, that's about my time. That's about my time. Y'all, I'm going to get down in the comments for a second with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Somebody saying it's suitable questions, y'all. I get I get the content pretty much, news and analysis. And you know what I'm saying? After I do the news and analysis, I get down in the comments. As you guys can see, I've been streaming for over an hour. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't got any donation, which is not mandatory for me to do. But I'm saying whenever I get, like, you know what I'm saying, donations and tips, then, you know, that's what the purpose of the super chat or the super sticker or the super thanks, you know what I'm saying, to join the conversation. But, you know, if I don't do it like that, what I do is I wait to the end of the stream, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll get down in the comments and I'll read a couple comments, you know what I'm saying, see what people got to say. So Trey says Biden's fault. Dude, Trey, don't do that, bro. You say that is Biden's fault. What? Trey, you say it's Biden's fault Americans want peace? No, Americans want peace because the first Gulf War probably started before you were born. The first Gulf War started in the 90s. So for the better part of 45 years, we've been fighting nonstop in the Middle East. That's why Americans want peace. Trey, if you saying that it's Biden's fault because of the way he handled the situation, Joe Biden ain't got nothing to do with President Trump choosing to bomb Iran. Nothing. Nothing. That's just the style of leadership. I'm not hating on President Trump for choosing. That's his style. But I'm just saying that comes with a great political cost. Look at the last Republican president you had that did that. The American people, they're not trying to be over in the Middle East fighting wars, man. That's just what that is. That's why I could tell. Look, you know, when I looked at a poll to see if Americans supported that war or not, I looked at the poll after the bombs were dropped. Before the bombs were dropped, go look at my content. I was saying that don't drop the bomb. I know how the American people feel. I don't need to look at a poll. I don't need a political scientist. I don't need to watch some lame square dude on no news agency trying to call somebody weird. Hey, Trey, y'all ever seen a TV? Trey, what if one of them TV pundits would have called Tupac weird when Tupac would have lied? Tupac could pull up on your news set and walk. Nah, I'm just playing. Bro, y'all ever seen these little weak TV political pundits? They feel bold enough to where they could call people they know tougher than them weird and geeks and dork. You feel what I'm saying, y'all? Y'all feel me? That's what we used to call them in the 80s and the 90s. We used to call them weird geeks and dorks. You know what I'm saying? But then now they didn't listen to Tupac. You feel me? What's that boy name? Hey, Scott, I see you, Scott, on CNN. You know what I'm saying? Scott on CNN. Hey, y'all, what? Malibu's most wanted? My boy Malibu's most wanted. Hey, that boy got him a Tupac CD, boy. Listen to a Tupac CD, bro. He probably was throwing up signs, you know what I'm saying? Man, this Malibu's most wanted. Now he walking around calling people weird and nerds, and you know you a straight geek. Oh man, I had to get that in there. Who we got? Let's see. What do you expect from a war of 70 years? They murdered 1 million Palestinians. What? Man, y'all, that's my time. You know, if you feel like that, you could feel how many Jews were murdered. You said 1 million Palestinians died. Go research how many Jews were murdered though in the World War. How many they were kicked from their land? You got to think about what them people been through. You got to look at the whole picture. You can't see the whole picture if you can't see the whole picture. That take wisdom. Y'all, that's my time, man. I appreciate every last one of y'all coming to the stream today. You know what I'm saying? Showing some love. You know what I'm saying? As y'all leave, y'all please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I want to say this, y'all. We're going to pray for our troops. We need to pray for President Trump. We need to pray for Israel. And we need to pray for peace in Iran in the situation. Let's pray for peace. Let's hope for peace. You know, do I believe that there will ever be peace in that situation fully in the Middle East? Never. I don't never think it will. But what I'm saying is if we could get 5 or 10 years of peace, man, over there, they've been fighting for a minute now. We've been over there fighting for a long time too. I will say that I think that Iran's empire is the last, the Iranians are the last of that old guard. I think after Iran falls, the rest of the Middle East would be like Saudi Arabia or Iraq is now, or Egypt is now. I think Iran is the last of that old Islamic guard. I think after that, you know what I'm saying, there's a chance for peace, but you know, just looking at the situation long term, man, it's just what it is, man. But in the meantime, we pray for peace. We pray for Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? I believe in praying for the Iranians, that they'll come to know Jesus Christ as their personal Savior. It don't matter who you are. Jesus said, whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. He ain't no respecter of person. You think Jesus loved the Israelis more than the Iranians? You think Jesus loved Americans more than he loved anybody else? No, he don't. He loved all of them. He want everybody. Jesus died for everybody. He didn't just die for us. He died for the world. Pray for the world, man. You see what I'm saying? Pray that everybody will come to know Jesus, man. You know? Because I think that's the answer, man. That's my real opinion. That being said, man, I want to give a shout out to the Great White Hypes. Hey, they said I'm weird, so I gotta be weird. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I gotta be weird. I ain't never seen no news pundits, no geeks and nerds. Y'all know 90% of people who news pundits, y'all are geeks and nerds in school. You know that. You know those bifocals. You know them ones with the bifocals. Like Steve Urkel used to pluck you in your head in high school, and then you get on TV. You could still look at. You can still see these dudes on TV looking like geeks and nerds, but now they using words that they heard Tupac or Run DMC use. Oh, you're weird, dude. Malibu's most wanted. Hey, y'all, that's my time, man. Hey, look, I love every last one of y'all being for real, dog. We're going to pray for our troops. We pray for President Trump, man. We pray for everybody. Pray for America, that red, white, and blue. All of our troops, man. I'm a veteran. You know what I'm saying? Anytime I get in a situation, y'all, that's like, it's really not funny, though. Like, I'm just thinking of these goofies. Anytime I'm in a situation where these sheep, you know what I'm saying, trying to fit in with everybody. They got sheep mentality. I'm not a sheep. I'm more like a lion. We show up, or a wolf. I'm going to eat you. Hey, anytime I get in situations where like it's above and beyond my control, I always turn to Jesus. Jesus is the shepherd, though. Like, I'm serious now. I'm not playing no more. You know what I'm saying? And as I end this stream, I'm going to tell you what I say anytime. things that we'll face that's beyond us. If you haven't faced one of them yet, just keep living and you will. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. That's my time, y'all. Like I said, peace and love, man. We praying for peace in that situation. If you a news organization or a news agency and you trying to pump up World War III or get World War III started, if I think that's what you're doing, I'm going to call you on it. You feel me? Ain't no love lost. You know what I'm saying? The American people want peace, man. President Trump said a golden age, man. Let's get back to the money. That's why I said, man, bring Elon back. You feel me? Like you bring some people that bring some money people. We trying to talk about crypto and stuff. You talking about dropping. Oh, man, what? Nah, we ain't trying to do all that. Or you go ahead down that path, though, and see what 2026 will bring for you. That's my time, y'all. Love every last one of y'all. Pray for our president. Pray for our country. And I'll see y'all next time. Next Tuesday, 7 a.m. Central on YouTube. Lord's willing. Y'all, I'm out.